The early 1960s, when I was an adolescent. A surly adolescent, I can hear some of you thinking. No, never. My parents were like my servants. My mother to cook a steak for me every day, and my father to rub me down with olive oil every evening. As if I was the favorite family greyhound. For I was a middle-distance runner. My persistent memory is of running into those dark lanes of North Cork with me running and Pop, my father, cycling beside me in hat, raincoat and galoshes. And as would happen towards the end of the run, I would race on ahead as if I was just showing off, leaving Pop far behind. I took him for granted, and he was so devoted to me. For 50 years, he kept a diary I now have and I treasure. Those were the winter months. And in spring, I see him now down at the end of the 440 yards homemade track in Mallow Town Park, standing there, calling out the interval times for my track sessions. 75, 2:30, and standing there like Eamon de Valera, in hat, raincoat, and galoshes. Those were the spring months. And then in summer, I was away every summer Sunday, away at tracks all over Ireland, the Mardyke in Cork, Bantyre, Santry. And because we had no car then, Pop would be at home, and he would get somewhat tense and think himself into a negative frame of mind, so that when I came back that night, he would say to me, "Not good so." And I would tease him and say, "Oh, you of little faith." I won. Here are the medals. "Show them to me," he would say, taking them from me as if they were Fabergé eggs. And then I would download my day, my strategy, my tactics, and then he would write it all into his diary and then give it on to the local journalists, the Corkman, the Cork Examiner. And the heading would read, "Mallow Man, Munster Champion." God, he was a great man for the alliteration. But I didn't appreciate him. I had little regard for all this. And over the next 3 years, he had a special cabinet built to house the championship medals, the cups, the cutlery, a shrine. So devoted. But I wanted something more. I wanted more than a trophy cabinet, than an All-Ireland track medal could give me. I wanted more than a training run every day could give me. And so in September 1967, I left to become a missionary priest. And Pop? What about Pop? He could get on, I thought. He would be okay. Many, many years later, I opened the diary in September the 21st, 1967, and I read, "I must pull myself together. I cannot go on like this." I must pull myself together. I cannot go on like this. I am reading now that I have unwittingly broken his heart. Pop did die In December 1980, he was 64, I was 35. By then, I had moved on again. I had left the religious life. I was married. I was teaching in Dublin. But one thing remained the same. I still ran every day, but now in the Phoenix Park. He haunted my dreams after he died. The same dream over and over, me running and Pop cycling beside me in those North Cork lanes. But then, one night, the dream changed forever. Now in the dream, I am running the 15 acres in the Phoenix Park, and I am overtaken by a cyclist in hat, raincoat, and galoshes. He smiles as he passes, and I watch him fade away into the park's vast spaces. A fond farewell? Yes, a fond farewell. Pop, so devoted to me in life and in death. And yes, audience here tonight, it will come to us suddenly one night, one day, when we regard our parents' devotion to us, and we will remember them, and then we will tell their story.